Destination Uri, Rowan Hand, back with you again. It's been my joy for the last 2.5 hours to be your host here in the heart of Newry, reaching out to you across the planet, saying good morning to Paddy Cahill, who's viewing from continental Europe at the moment. I think it's Germany you're in at the moment, Patrick. But we're big in Mayo Bridge, Mullabon and Manhattan. And this is Norman Purdy from Warren Point is with me now. And we're looking to a very important, intimate, charitable outreach into Africa, Norman, that you've been involved in since when?
2009.
2009. The name of the project is what?
The name of the project is Project Tando.
Tando? What does Tando mean?
Tando is Zulu for love.
Wow, that's as good as it gets.
That's as good as it gets, really.
Tando.
Yeah.
Tando.
Yeah.
I must
Project
remember
Tando.
that one. Now, how did Project Tando come into existence?
2009, I'm involved in a medic mission based in the UK. I'm on the board of trustees.
Yes.
And we partner with South Sudan, we've partnered Nigeria, Uganda, Sri Lanka, and in Embo, which is a formal settlement about 20 minutes outside Durban.
Yeah.
The Medic Assist is involved in funding caregivers to go around the settlement to administer antiretroviral drugs.
Yes.
Providing an ambulance service to take very ill patients to the hospice where sadly they have maybe only days to live.
But at least those are days of dignity.
Correct.
Which is a nice phrase, days of dignity.
Days of dignity. People dying in dignity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have hope.
So out of that natural desire to be involved and to help and to outreach came your new charity, the new outreach.
Which is basically non-medical needs in Embo. And our non-medical needs basically centred around a small orphanage which started in 2009 where they had no beds. They basically had nothing. They had 5 children which were brought into the pastor's house. And my wife and I felt, look, maybe this is something that we can assist in. So we started to do a little bit of fundraising.
Yeah.
That little orphanage has now gone into a creche for young children under 5, where there are 80 children. We have funded the development of that by way of new kitchens, jungle gyms, bedding. And on our last visit in March, we set up the installation of a 10,000-litre water tank. Wow. Because they have a shortage of water. But our main focus is going on to a new orphanage that was built approximately 3 years ago.
Yeah.
This, at the moment, was built for 12 children. There are 16 in it at the moment. And in March, we went out to furnish a second unit to hold another 10 children. So hopefully, when my wife returns in September, we're going to have 24 children. Yes. Which we're going to care for.
It's a grand thing to be
Now,
doing.
there are millions of children in the world, but if we can make a difference for 24, well, we've accomplished something.
That's no more than that is asked of you.
Yes.
You know, it brings to mind the story of the boy on the beach who rescued the starfish and brought it out until he was waist high in the water and put the starfish back into the water. And the wise one on the shore said, "Why are you doing that? Sure, look, there's thousands of them and they're all, it doesn't make any difference." It makes a difference to the one.
Yes.
To the one.
Yes.
You mentioned the pastor there. Is there a church based there?
There's a Power of God Community Church.
What is the Power of God Community Church?
Well,
Tell me about that.
It is a church situated basically on, Embo is an area of 6,000 people, 60,000 people approximately.
Yes.
In an area called the Valley of 1,000 Hills. Very scenic area of KwaZulu-Natal. But as you pass along the road, going through the Valley of 1,000 Hills, the main route up from Durban to Johannesburg, off that, about 2 miles off that road, is this informal settlement. And in there you have a church with approximately 700 people would be the congregation.
Yeah.
It's commenced by the pastor about 7 years ago.
How did you get to know him and to know the
I
church?
got to know him basically through the work that I do with Medic Assist International.
Yeah.
And then I've diversified, still involved with Medic Assist, but diversified to Project Tando to help the children.
Yeah. You were drawn to this. You couldn't have walked away from it, Norman.
Once our first visit we couldn't walk away. We went out in 2010. We tried to get out twice a year.
Yeah.
We do fundraising, we do charity walks, we've done concerts, tea parties, just anything that we can raise awareness
What
to
would
the
you
need.
roughly? What would you have put into it between the beginnings and now?
I would say we've probably raised 35,000.
That's substantial.
Yes,
and that
yeah.
makes a big difference.
Makes a difference,
out
Rowan.
there.
Out there, that
Huge.
makes a difference.
Something as simple as the water tank you're talking
The
about.
water tank, yes, that was something when my wife was there in last September. So basically, the orphanage and the creche was without water for 3 weeks. So you can imagine that.
That's not good. Not good.
The young children have been brought in a lifestyle that some of them are HIV/AIDS positive.
Yeah, of course.
Others have been rejected by their parents. A lot of them have been abused physically, mentally.
Yeah.
Something I'll not go into in great detail.
no.
Tragic.
Yeah.
And if we can help them,
Yeah.
that's.
Are they Zulu people?
They are Zulu people.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you find is the characteristic of the modern Zulu?
Oh, well, the modern Zulu would be basically ancestral worship.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing.
Are they happy people?
They seem to be a happy people, but a lot of poverty. A lot of poverty. KwaZulu-Natal would be one of the highest areas of AIDS in South Africa. Very, very prevalent.
And then to assuage the pain of their disease, possibly alcohol comes in.
Alcohol mixed with other concoctions and basically puts them off their head. Yeah. But with Project Tando, we have been recognised by the chief in the informal settlement. He knows when we're there. He recognises us. We have had informal discussions with him, he and his wife in his own house. So he knows we're there, and we don't feel any intimidation whatsoever.
No. Well, he would know.
When we drive in and out.
He would know where Mr. and Mrs. Purdy come. There's good. He would know that.
Well,
you know.
I would. It's seen in what we've done, Rowan. It's seen, you know, by the fruits of their labour, should you know them. And you know,
it's a building. You're still going to keep going.
We are still going to keep going.
Even now, so far into it, you can't walk away from it.
There's no way that we'll be walking away from it.
That's beautiful.
We want to basically develop further funding for maybe what happens to these 24 children when they come 16, when they come 17.
Yeah.
We want to be able to maybe to fund them through education.
Yes.
So this is the long-term project. This is the long-term project. Wow. As the name suggests, Project Tando, it's a project of love.
Love, indeed. Now, what kind of homes do they live in, if they have homes other than the orphanage?
It would be very hard to describe a visual picture of Embo, but very, very hilly. Homes with no running water, no electric.
Are they built structures, or are they still mud huts and straw roofs?
Well, no, they would probably be corrugated roofs.
Corrugated now, yes,
yes,
of course.
And some of them, we wouldn't entertain them even as outside farm buildings. You know, they're but it's great to be there. We love going. We were there for a month in March. My wife's going back again in September.
A month's a long time under the African skies.
Yes.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. And
mosquito net beds and stuff
well,
like that.
Well, no, actually, mosquitoes is
you're
not
down
a problem.
off the.
We're
you're far enough down.
Far enough south to avoid
that way.
And my wife's come back out again now for 2 weeks in September.
Yeah.
I'll return again in March. So we do these fundraising activities.
So what have you been doing? What sort of fundraising?
Fundraising, we started our first fundraising event, I think it was about 2010, on a very, very wet June day where we walked from one point in Newry and back. And that was really our first charity event where we raised, I think, in excess of £1,100. Nobody knew us. Nobody. We were just like water rats walking up the carriageway.
I got the picture. Yeah.
And from there, we now try and go out once a year. We do the mountains, Donard, Slieve Berna, Binion.
Yeah. And these are sponsored walks.
I try to get people, give them a sponsorship form, try and collect. So it'll be £5 they collect. That's fine. There's no There's no limit on what anybody can give me. And
Yeah.
what I will stress is that 100% of what we raise goes to Embo.
Well, that's
100%.
perfection.
There
That's
is
the way it should be.
There's no administration.
No.
There's nothing.
Yeah, no, that's huge, and well done for that indeed. Now, the next, have you something coming up shortly?
We have a charity walk on the 14th of June.
14th of just around the corner.
So it's just around the corner.
And that's from where to where?
That will be starting off in Donard Park, Newcastle, 10:30, and we will be going to Slieve Comida.
Oh yes.
So we walk up to the saddle.
Yes.
Right for Comida, left for Donard. We've already done Donard, so this year we're doing Comida.
Are you walking yourself?
God willing, I'll be walking.
God willing is the important thing. Yeah.
Yes, if my health.
Well, sure. Well, you know, fitness is important to fellas like us as you move on through life.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But it's great what you're doing, and I
Yes.
congratulate you on it. The motivation for it comes from parents, from where you came from in Warren Point, your church background.
Yes, all that certainly would have an input into it. Yes, all that would have an input into it. But it's just something at this stage of life, Rowan, that we feel we want to get involved. Our family have
Thank
grown
God
up,
for
or we can move. It's a different direction.
Thank God for it.
And
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited on the days that are ahead
Yes.
as to what we're going to achieve.
Okay, Norman.
And,
it's really great. And where do people contact you?
Well,
Have you a website or anything?
We have a website called www.projecttando.co.uk.
So it's T-A-N-D-O.
Thando.
T-H-A-N-D-O.
Project Tando.
ProjectTando.co.uk. ProjectTando, T-H-A-N-D-O.co.uk. And that's where people find you.
And I'm known in Warren Point, and
Of course you are.
they can call at my house, they can phone me, they can make.
Okay. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Ron.
And good luck.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Keep the good work going. It's hugely important.
Absolutely.
Don't forget the starfish.
This is it.
Yeah, the star. And the lovely thing is, it's a project, it's small enough for you to embrace.
Yes.
The bigger charities are great, they do wonderful things and they make many, many millions. But the ordinary person doesn't have the sense of ownership of the projects, and that's the important
Yes,
thing.
we have the ownership, and we have the desire, and we have the love for the children.
Tando forever.
Tando.
God bless you. Go
Thank
well.
you very much.
Some music, Andrew, please.